for Nick Gonzales. Really good kid, total team player. Doesn't just say all the right things, he does all the right things. And he continuously makes himself better, both at the plate and in the field. You want for what he just did last night to be real. Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Pirates 5, Brewers 4 last night in the House of Horrors. Gonzales went 5 for 5 with a couple of doubles, a couple of RBIs. That was part of a 14-hit output. We won't even mention that there were 16 Ks along the way because you'll take 14 hits under almost any circumstance. Gonzales, of course, wasn't able to participate in the better part of this first half of the season. He's only had 75 official at-bats, but to date, he's batting .320 with an .843 OPS. Yes, I know, sample size. In fact, in a conversation that Nick and I were having at PNC Park a couple of days ago about this very thing, he kept interrupting me and saying, I've barely been here. I've been here for, 15, 16 games, he would say. Well, it's actually 19 now, including last night. And on that note, here's some of what he had to say last night in Milwaukee to reporters, including our own Jose Negron.
Yeah, it was good, obviously, to just impact the game. You get an RBI early, put us up, and another RBI after that just to kind of give us a leader. And then just taking a win at bat at a time. Didn't really think too much into it.
There's a good head on his shoulders, too, and real level at all times. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, knows what he is, what he's supposed to be, and he keeps that in check with what he hopes to be. And I like that. There's a lot that I like about him. I understand, and I have also participated in the criticism over the years of the pick. This was the first draft pick that Ben Cherington made as Pittsburgh's general manager. This was first round, of course, 7th overall in 2020 in the COVID year. There was an understandable delay for him and everybody in his class in progressing through the minors because so much baseball was lost at the developmental level where it just didn't even occur. But he eventually made his way through the minors, made it to Pittsburgh, and this is now his third season. Well, to be more precise here, it's his third season, but he's got 549 official major league at-bats, which of course is the equivalent of one full season for an everyday player, which Gonzales is very much expected to be. And if I'm going to talk about sample sizes in one direction, I'm going to do it in the other as well. Because through that 549 at-bats, he's batted .264, which is pretty good in 2025. .307 on base percentage, which is not all that good. A .401 slug, which is kind of disappointing when you consider that he's had and shown the power, not just for home runs, but more relevant to, kind of what you saw last night in Milwaukee, where he'll drive the ball to the gaps and he'll make it go. Like it's not the kind where the outfielders turn around and think they've got a beat on it. They just turn around and go to retrieve it. It's different. But I feel like the sample size also lends itself to a more relevant point here. And that's this. In 2023, 2024, and now 2025, repeating here, small sample size, 19 games for the current season. But for each of those three tiers of his big league career, he's gotten markedly better. Now, that sort of thing isn't linear, but you would like to think that in a broader sense that it could level off into something that's pretty nice. He doesn't need to be a superstar. I don't think anybody at any point was projecting him to be a superstar, even when he came out of New Mexico State with the, repeat after me if you remember from that time, best college bat in the class. He doesn't need to be all that. What he needs to be, from the Pittsburgh perspective, from the Pirates perspective, from the perspective of 2026 and beyond, under a new management team that knows what it's doing in terms of team building, lineup building, and all that other stuff, what he needs to be is he needs to be your everyday second baseman. He needs to be reliable, maybe bordering close to very good defensively. We saw the play that he made the other night against the Rangers where he went all the way to the other side of second base, threw against his body. Just gorgeous. He does some good things at that position. I don't know that he's been acknowledged for that. And from there, he just needs to be a dude, okay? A good dude, but a dude in your lineup. Somebody that you could put in at 6 or 7 in a contending lineup and not break a sweat over it. Now, does this team have that luxury? No, of course it doesn't. Gonzales hit cleanup for this game because that's what Don Kelly sees when he looks at the roster that Cherington's given him. But when you think about who's normally hit cleanup this season, it's Joey Bart, and all Bart did was hit behind Gonzales and go 0 for 5 with 4 Ks. But I will take a piece. I will take a player who can slot in to where he should slot in over the course of significant time. And if that's a 7, that's a 7. If that moves Ke'Bryan Hayes, and of course has a long contract ahead of him that really can't be traded, if that moves Hayes down to 8 or even 9, so be it. His glove saves a lot of runs. You can live with the rest. But I say that, and I look at the rest of the lineup and I go, where's everybody else? Where's everybody else? Whatever. Positive. Today, positive. I'll take it. I'll take Gonzales being my number 7 hitter on a contending group of Pirates. When we come back, J1Q. If you're looking for a great dining experience, look no further than North Shore Tavern. Located directly across Federal Street from PNC Park, next door to Mike's Beer Bar, North Shore Tavern is Pittsburgh's home for steak on a stone. Enjoy your steak finished on a hot lava stone in front of you, where you ensure each piece is cooked to exactly your liking. Or try their rotating selection of entrees, hot sandwiches, salads, and burgers, all while enjoying the ambiance dedicated to the great players and history of the Pittsburgh Pirates all around you. Come see why everyone's talking about North Shore Tavern and steak on a stone.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org. That's gunstoragecheck.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Ed, who says, DK spending no more than the Pirates have done. Can you construct a major league roster with significantly better offensive upside than what the Pirates have? And to be fair, let's assume that the pitching staff stays as is. Ed, it's way too early in the morning for me to challenge you to go turn your volume knob down and for me to start screaming out my answer. So just imagine that I'm doing that instead. Yes, it's very, very, very much possible to do that. And I'm going to lay out for you why. First off, Ben Cherington and his staff have spent, I'm talking about money that's gone, already out the window, close to $160 million between the draft and Latin America and elsewhere internationally. And what they have to show for that right now in the city of Pittsburgh is the guy I was just talking about. It's Nick Gonzales, and that's it. And there's nobody else. And don't give me Connor Griffin until he gets here. I think you and I would agree that that's an awful lot of money. Not that anybody should get a feather for it. Bob Nutting is only spending to whatever the norm is for the draft in Latin America and internationally. A little bit more than the norm, actually, but not markedly so. But to have all of that produce one player for you, one, count him, one, is crazy. It's just, you almost have to be trying to misfire to not even to run into someone by accident. Now add on to that the trades early in Cherington's tenure of Starling Marte, Josh Bell, Joe Musgrove, several other players who were of value to other teams at their peak, all of whom were exchanged for younger players with alleged promise who were supposed to make a difference at some stage in Pittsburgh. All they have to show for all of that right now, as you and I are talking, Ed, is David Bednar. In the draft, just in Cherington's drafts, they've had Gonzales at number 7 overall. They've had Henry Davis at number 1 overall. They've had Termar Johnson at number 4 overall. He's in Altoona. He's not doing much. They've had Connor Griffin at number 9 overall, and he's off to a wonderful start this summer. It's his first season of professional baseball, but it's been wonderful so far. So it's not just that they've spent money on the draft, it's that they've had really high picks, lots of them, and 80% of them have been hitters. Here again, no additional extra money, nothing unusual. Now, it would take me way too long to go through all of Cherington's trades that brought in guys making money or free agents. Can you accuse Nutting of being cheap with the payroll, especially as it applies to free agents? Absolutely. And with all capital letters, boldface, italics, fireworks going off, guilty as charged. But if you're the owner, Ed, if you're running this business, step outside of yourself here. Put yourself in Nutting's shoes. And there's, say, I don't know, $5 million, $6 million left in the player payroll in the offseason, and the Reds go and get Austin Hayes 1 year at $5 million. And Hayes ends up being one of the better surprises in the National League. 303 average, 6 homers, 25 RBIs. He would have the best OPS on the Pirates by a country mile. 1 year at $5 million. Oh, and by the way, he's 29 years old. Tommy Pham is 38. Pham was 1 year for $4.025 million. And you know what you've gotten out of Pham, with the exception of the last couple of days, obviously. What would move the owner? And remember, that's you now, Ed. You're the boss here. It's your business. What would move you to have faith in giving this guy more? Oh, yeah. Wow, you did a great job on that Pham versus Hayes analysis there. Here's another $20 million. Go get me another great hitter like you did with Pham. Make another great decision. Why would he do that? Why would he do that? Now, your easy counter to that is, why is he still employing this guy? And that one I don't have an answer for. I appreciate you, Ed. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. We'll be back with another one of these tomorrow.